Hey everyone, Catch 'em All Collectibles here. Today I have a collection video. I'm interested to see how it's received, if it performs well at all, gets too many views or comments, but couple bits of obscure pieces of my collection that you just really don't see out there. There's not a lot of value associated with them, but these ones in particular, quite a bit of nostalgia for me. Um, Both kind of like long term back into the 90s. That's when these were from. To You'll see after I show you this complete set of the battling coin game, kind of related. I have the trading figure game. I don't have a complete set, but I'll show you what I have and kind of talk about how it relates to how they relate to each other and how they both kind of tie into a game I used to play, really used to enjoy. I never knew anyone else who played it really. And Pokemon Duel, though. Let me know in the comments if you ever played Pokemon Duel, because it was kind of a pay-to-win game, which wasn't something I was too happy with, but it was one of those games where it wasn't completely pay-to-win. If you really grinded and played a lot, did all your dailies, you could keep up, and that's the way that I took with it, and I just really enjoyed the game. But I'll kind of talk a bit about the mechanics of the battling coin game, the trading figure game, and how that related to Pokemon Duel. But anyways, this was the case. Inside of this, I couldn't find any, but I think I have 100 of them somewhere. It was like a CD case, and you'd get 3 coins in each package. Randomly, they'd be faced like backwards in the package, so it was kind of like a booster pack. You didn't know what you were going to get. And years ago, I probably still have 1,000 of these coins. Years ago, I bought a couple thousand coins from somebody who actually worked at the factory, is what they said their story was. And so yeah, each coin, the way that it would work, you'd line up 2 coins and you'd spin them. If you landed on an attack that was higher than the other one, you basically would knock it out. There's some mechanics like poison and stuff. I'm honestly not 100% on how it worked with the battling coin game. But yeah, to me, I've mentioned in the podcast a couple times, I mentioned when I showed the new A Pokemon coins. I started out as a coin collector years ago, so anything that kind of crosses those two, Pokemon and coins, I'm going to be all about it. So I had to put this set together, and I think these have come up reasonably well in the past several years. Not anything like the cards have done, but really cool kind of niche thing, I think, and really something that just checks those boxes for me. I had a handful of these, nowhere near a complete set, but I had a handful of these from my childhood. So it brings me back to 99. It ties into the Pokemon Duel game, kind of along the same lines as that. So a cool collectible for me. You do see that I have these pages that came in. The reason I don't have this in a binder, unfortunately, when you flip it, the coins are quite heavy. Unless you had them in some kind of you'd have to almost seal this somehow. You'd have to have a tight bag around it, or you'd have to have, these just don't work, because when you were flipping the binder pages, you'd drop out half the coins. If anyone was wondering why I didn't have it in a binder. I'm gonna go off camera quick. So the battling coins, let's see if I can get all this in camera. The battling coins, the way that they worked, you kind of, I've got a lot going on here. You kind of just spun 2 of them together and battled. Whoever had the higher number would win. The trading figure game, and some people, I forget what the years were. Let me see. 2007, this says. So really in a dead era of the card game. I'd be interested again to know, did anybody play this or collect this when it was actually out? It would be really cool to me, like, if they would do tournaments for this. Part of the issue you run into is it's fairly finicky to spin these, and you can imagine how someone might be able to try to set up their figure to where it lands on the one they want every time. But yeah, the battling coin game, you kind of spin 2 coins together. This brings a bit more strategy into it. Let me get some of these sealed products off screen, just for more space. The trading figure game brought more strategy into it by introducing like a board. And the way that it would work, this was kind of the field of play. I don't think you can see everything, but essentially a simple little board with a goal on each end. You'd enter in here. Each figure would have a certain amount of spaces. So here you can see, and as I said, everything with this lines up just like Pokemon Duel gameplay worked. So I think the field was slightly different looking. I think you entered in on the corners in Duel, whereas here you enter in on one corner, and then on the other side you're entering like one off of the corner. But yeah, like here, Torchic, he has a white attack for 30, a white attack for 40, and then a red miss. Miss would lose to anything. He moves 3. So some of these figures, it's either 1, 2, or 3 is what they could move. Pokemon Duel had some really interesting mechanics where like Speed Deoxys could move 4 off of the bench, and then he was a 3 mover. But like the hierarchy of moves, so you've got Latios here. Blue beats everything. Like Latios's blue move is a dodge, so that's like a defensive move. Blue tying against blue, I mean, it's a tie. They both stay on the field. And the way that it works, you enter in, you move, you can kind of like run into a figure, and then they just battle. You spin them. You spin them against each other, see what they land on. Eevee landed on a dodge, so did Latios, so both people stay. And the hierarchy is blue always beats everything. Purple is like a status effect. Purple beats white every time. And gold beats purple every time. I'm probably going to do a really poor job of explaining this. So when white meets white, you just compare the numbers. Whatever number is bigger. So like Psychic 40 for Latios. Eevee has Tackle, which is a 20. So 40 would beat 20. If you compare a gold to a white, they're on level playing field. So like a gold 40 would tie with a white 40. But the interesting mechanic of a gold automatically always beats a purple. So that kind of, it's like it brings balance to the gameplay, because if purple always beats white, well, purple's really overpowered. So you've got low gold attacks that would lose to whites, but they'll always beat purples, that just really bring in like a unique gameplay mechanic. And getting into this game a few years ago when Pokemon Duel was a thing, it was an app on your phone, it really made me think, man, I should probably get into the TCG, because I really like the deck building aspect of this. I really like the strategy that goes into, honestly, like the trading card game, you have a bit of luck in what you pull into your hand, right, from your deck. You build your deck as good as you can, but then you're subject to luck, kind of like poker, where whatever the dealer pulls, whatever your other opponents pull, luck is always some part of it. And the same thing, you can build your deck, you can build your 6-figure deck, but at the end of the day, you've got to spin your Latios against an Eevee, and depending on what it lands on, I mean, that's where the luck comes in. So long term, the better players will prevail, but it's just a really cool strategy type thing. You can see the kind of variety of figures. I mean, you've got Salamence, which is Salamence, interestingly, he was exactly the same in Pokemon Duel. He had a purple attack that would actually cause you to fly over. So say Salamence was here battling Eevee, and you landed on the purple against the white, you'd fly over Eevee, and then you'd be that much closer to landing on the goal. The way, I don't know if I mentioned it yet, but the way the game ends is you reach the opponent's goal. So when you're starting over here, you could fly over Eevee, and you could get to the goal on your next turn, or say someone was defending, you could fly over them for the win. And he had, in Pokemon Duel, he had a 70 attack with a purple flyaway attack. So yeah, he's identical to the game. Yeah, kind of all over the place. Probably didn't do an amazing job describing it all, but to me, it's like a really cool, not a crazy expensive way to enjoy the hobby, to enjoy the intellectual property, I guess. But yeah, I just figured I'd give you this video. I should mention too, my off weeks, I usually try to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday for videos. You'll be watching this on Thursday, and unfortunately there won't be a third video for the week. I will still be doing a Monday video next week, and then Thursday I'll be doing the podcast with Nick. If all goes, I mean, I've not heard from him that he can't do it, so I know I can definitely do it. So everything beyond next week should be as scheduled. It's just this week I'm in the middle of moving and, well, building / moving my office space. So kind of an exciting change, but having me be crazy busy in the meantime. So hopefully might be a bit scattered, might be a bit of a mess around my eBay area in the short term, but within a few weeks, once it's all done, I'll have the ability to just have some more eye-appealing backgrounds and be able to do videos and spread out more and kind of show. I mentioned I want to show some more of my collection, which is what this video is, but also showing uncut sheets, and like I have no way to really show big items like that. And in the new office setup, I'll have a bit more freedom to do stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely want to hear from you guys. If you had ever played Pokemon Duel, I would love to talk. What were your favorite decks? What were the decks you hated? The Deoxys decks I hated, the Ultra Beast decks around the end of when I stopped playing. I really hated to play against too, but yeah, that's all I have for today. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will catch you all later.